Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Ho, ho.
Ho, ho, ho.
Boy, Yetta, your ho, ho, ho needs a little work.
That's a real good dad joke.
Moving forward with the Dekker Team. Moving forward together with the Dekker Team.
Anyway, we are excited because I, Yetta Dekker.
And I'm Ken Dekker.
And
That's why you're excited?
Yeah, I am, because we get to welcome you to another episode of Life's Inside Track, where we share techniques, thoughts, tools, tips, and some tactics that we all need, we all deserve. You, I, everyone, so that we can turn our house into home, our families thrive, and we get to live the best life possible. And so in this episode, we're going to consider, how do we come out of, whether it's a vacation or whether it's the holidays or whether it's a little break from work, how do we come out of those times, down times, rejuvenated, energized, engaged, and ready to go, rather than depleted and exhausted and a lot tired?
Well, I know I used to come out of Christmas season, holiday season, with just a total exhaustion. Now, part of that was the career we have or had, right? In this career, we get the advantage of things slowing down a little bit around the Christmas season. Not as many homes sell. And we can spend more time with the people we love, the people that energize us, right, and not people who might deplete us.
Right. And the cool thing is, when we do have a client that wants to look at a house Christmas Eve, which we have done more than once, or right through the cusp of the holidays, or even when we're on vacation for that matter, but really during the holiday times, whether it's Thanksgiving or whether it's Easter or whether it's some sort of seasonal holiday, people that are looking on those seasonal holidays are generally highly motivated, and they're usually in a good mood too. So,
absolutely.
In fact, they bring energy. And so we're not saying we don't want you to call us on those holiday times, because if you do, we know that you need the help now. Otherwise, you wouldn't want to be doing it right then.
That's true.
Which is kind of cool. So finding people, the who's in your Whoville, as I always say, especially when I wear my pink Cindy Lou Who coat, the who's in your Whoville have more to do with you coming out of the holidays or any time away, even a vacation.
Yeah, maybe they haven't seen The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. And maybe you have, maybe you haven't. But the whole point of that story is the Grinch comes and he steals what he thinks is Christmas. He steals their Christmas dinner. He steals their Christmas trees. He steals all their presents. And then he takes them up into the mountain, and he's about to throw them over the edge of the mountain. And what does he hear coming from the city?
The happy singing of all the who's in Whoville.
Because they're with their who's. And that's what it's all about.
And the real present of any time together is the other person. It's not the stuff. If it's a vacation or a holiday that's focused around stuff, it's the present is really the other humans in your particular Whoville. So what we're encouraging you is make sure that those that you hang out with over the holidays or on vacation are people that actually bring you energy. Otherwise, you're going to come out of your vacation. I mean, if you're anything like me, I've done it way too many times. I come home from vacation needing another vacation. And a lot of it has to do with who did I hang out with and how were they behaving.
Yeah, you know what's really cool is I was recently I was down in Toronto for a real estate conference, and President Bill Clinton was speaking. And here you've got the president, right? And he's talking about getting together for the holidays with his family and the extended family. And he said there's about, I think he said 36 of them. And what they do is they go around the table and they share gratitude. And he said it's unbelievable. And I thought it was kind of neat that he stole our tradition.
I know, right? Like, how dare he?
He says, in the midst of people having tragic years, loss of family, loss of jobs, whatever the case may be.
Lots of hard stuff. Because life is hard.
He said it's phenomenal to hear people's gratitude for what they're grateful for. And so that was really touching that even the past president of the United States, what's important to him? Who's he going to spend the holidays with?
And who's in the room? And then part of the who is what kind of conversations are we going to have? Because the wrong who's won't have the right conversation.
Oh.
Right? So again, it comes down to the who's in your whoville.
Yeah, and I think some people like light, airy, fluffy conversations. Not the one sitting beside me. She wants that depth of conversation, because if you start talking about the hockey game or the weather, you're going to lose her pretty quickly.
I can put enough energy and focus and attention into meeting anybody about anything. I will do it, and it wouldn't be my preference.
No, and you're going to ask them some questions that are going to take you deep quickly.
Sometimes.
Most of the time.
Well, there are times
99.98% of the time.
That's not true. There are times where I too want to be rejuvenated just by rest. I mean, I have a lot of introvert tendencies, even though I can bring it when I'm in public. I like to sit and have my solitude, my replenished time, my quiet time.
Yeah. That's not what I'm talking about.
And so it doesn't have to always be in depth. There's times my brain is tired and I can't have a real conversation. But notice I just called a meaningful conversation, a real conversation. I did catch myself.
Yeah,
if you didn't catch me, I caught me. That's a real conversation in my mind. So it is my preference, and not always do I have the energy for it.
No, if you're super tired, you don't have the energy for a depth of conversation, and probably you're going to choose not to be with people.
If I can help it.
Yeah.
That's true. There's some truth there. He's ratting me out on all my little quirks and idiosyncrasies.
Yeah. So who's going to be in the holiday season with you? Are you going to invite somebody that maybe is lonely, or maybe you're the lonely? And sometimes other people don't think of you, and that makes it hard. And how do you, this is a question for you, Yetta. If you're lonely and you're maybe single, or you've lost a family member or something, the rest of your family's far away, or maybe you're disconnected, how do you manage to get invited to somebody else's family?
Well, I've done it, so I know the
how
answer.
did you do it?
So I think for me, one of the things is, depending on how comfortable I am with the person, there's two probably strategies I use. Well, first, I actually pray about it. Like, who am I supposed to spend time with, right? I will think about who can I bless, even though I'm looking for company, who can I bless in the midst? So is it a time to volunteer? Is it a time to do something to serve someone else? That may well be a choice. And then the other thought is, if I can do that, I can just go serve. I can ask directly if I know the person well enough, hey, can I come over? Or the other strategy is let people know that you're going to be alone. Maybe people that you don't know as well. And I have done that sometimes, even with other things, not just time alone, give them opportunity to loan me their car, like when we're in Mexico, but don't actually say, hey, will you give me your car? Because it didn't seem like I had the relationship or the bandwidth to be able to do it. So put it into the space with no expectation and no attachment to whether they step in to fill the need or not.
Yeah. Well, I know last year you asked somebody, because at Christmas, we've celebrated Christmas Eve, and Christmas Day, it was just you and I.
Well,
and
that's not bad.
We can be okay with just the two of us. But you called up a friend and said, hey, can we crash your Christmas? We'll bring wine, or we'll bring this, or you don't have to bring anything. Just bring yourself, because it's about who's together. And they loved it.
Yeah. So what are we grateful for?
We're grateful that we are your partners moving forward together on the journey towards wisdom, wealth, and worth.
Moving forward with the Dekker Team. Moving forward together with the Dekker Team.